A very warm welcome back to TED Talks and Bowen's Garage. Thank you very much for joining me for another week here at our little empire in Ross-On-Wye. If you're new here, you're very welcome. Thank you for joining. Do give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. I think by the time this comes out, we would have ticked 2,500 subscribers, which I'm extremely grateful for. It does mean a lot. It's a slow process, this whole YouTube thing, and I'm not very good at it. Algorithms and all that sort of thing. It's not really my cup of tea, but I do appreciate all your support, all the nice comments, all the interactions. Thank you to everybody who's bought a car through watching us and sold us a car through watching us. 2,500, sort of the average attendance for my beloved Hereford FC, which I'm a season ticket holder of, my local side, and it seems like quite a few people when you're there. So thank you very much. I guess now the next step is 5,000, but that seems a long way away. But I really do appreciate it. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy the content if you do, and hopefully it will continue. It will continue. So we're here for another week. It's bright and early. It's 20 to 8. I've cracked on this morning. Mark, our service manager, isn't very well, so he's not coming in, which is a little bit unfortunate. I wasn't planning on running the workshop today, but now needs must, unfortunately. I think it's going to be a little bit of a quieter week. The phones haven't been particularly busy over the weekend, and we're well into the summer holidays now, so this is usually the time where it does go quiet for a few weeks, which in all honesty might not be a terrible thing. It will help us get our house in order a little bit, because there's a lot of cars that aren't valeted, photographed, pictured, mechanically ready. There's quite a bit to do behind the scenes. So if we do have a couple of quieter weeks than the run we have been on, then we've been over a car a day this month. And obviously we're only here 5 days a week, but we're over a car a day, 7 days a week. So it's been really busy. So if it does just dip off a little bit, it's not the end of the world for a couple of weeks. It might help us get back on the straight and narrow. We do have a test drive this afternoon. It was the only call over the weekend, really, or the only proper inquiry. This little Polo match. I think it's a match. Ice Silver. It's a really, really nice car. We haven't valeted it yet, so that's going to be the boys. It wasn't next in the list, but the boys are going to have to do it. It does need some tyres, probably a full set, which we'll do when it's sold. Also, I did notice the handle on the front driver's seat that pulls you backwards and forwards has snapped off, so I've got one of those here, so the boys will have to fit that later as well before the guy comes, just in case he's got very short legs, so he won't be able to reach the steering wheel or the pedals. So that, we've got a test drive on that at 3:30, so the boys will have to crack on with that one. But it is a really, really nice car, apart from needing the tyres and whatever. So if he's looking for one, it's a nice one, I hope, when it's clean. Other than that, we haven't had a huge amount going on over the weekend, which was nice. Had a really quiet family weekend, walked the dog, had a barbecue, nice stuff. And a few of you guys in the comments were telling me to take it easy, and I took heed. Also, while we're on, first thing in the morning on Monday, congratulations to the Lionesses, England. I did watch it last night. Not the most exciting game in the world, but they got the job done, and congratulations to all of them. Proud to be English, and yeah, really, really good. So hopefully the men can sort of take a leaf out of their book and just get the job done when it comes to the next major tournament next year. So yes, that is it. Monday, I need to crack on. Got the workshop to run. We've got a mechanic off on holiday, so it's not massively busy. It's just trying to crack on with these car sales ones. I got my wife's car in today for an MOT and service because it runs out tomorrow. So yes, I need to crack on. We were thinking about, it's interesting, we had a comment on the video that came out yesterday, last week's weekly, Bear with me. Excuse me, just had to have a sneeze. Yeah, so they were saying that maybe we need another mechanic to try and get through this backlog of sales cars, and to increase our ability to do more retail work as well. Now, interestingly, when we first took over the garage, coming up 12 years ago, we had 4 mechanics, and because of the space in there with the limited, we had 6 ramps at the time. We've got 5 now. Everyone was on top of each other, and it was quite a lot. And if you got a car stuck for quite a big job, it was a real pain. So when the one decided to leave, we didn't bother replacing them, and we ran with 3. But we weren't doing so much car sales work then. So now we sort of have 2 doing retail work, and it isn't enough. And we've only got 1 doing sales, and that's not enough really at the moment. The fear is if you go and get a 4th person, and these days that is not an easy thing to do. They are very, very thin on the ground, good mechanics, very thin. So not only is it hard to find in the first place, you also have to pay them an awful lot of money. And what I don't want, of course, and the fear is, and I don't think it would happen, but we always err on the side of caution here. Both myself and my dad, it's just the way hence why we haven't borrowed fortunes of money to stock the place, and it's all our own money. And we haven't grown as quickly as perhaps we could have, or should have, we'll never know. We're sort of slightly risk adverse. I mean, saying that, we're selling cars, but the type of cars we sell are fairly risk adverse cars. So, yes, we could do with someone, but could we do with an extra person all the time? What I don't want is it to go a little bit quiet, or quiet for a bit of a period of time, and then, you know, the wage bill just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and we then have 11 staff, and yeah, it starts to get more stress, you know. So I don't know. I think we'll monitor it over the next few months. We're not going to jump at it. We might put the feelers out potentially, and then maybe I've got one of the older guys, Mike, who does want to drop down to 4 days a week next year. So that's forcing our hand a little bit potentially. So we might put the feelers out. If you are in the Herefordshire, Gloucestershire region, and you're a level 3 tech, and preferably if you've got an MOT licence as well, then if you do fancy a change, if you are potentially looking at moving, it's a very nice place to work here. We will look after you. Then drop us an email, and you know, we're more than happy to take a look. As I say, we might put the feelers out, see what happens over the next couple of 3 months, and then we maybe try and get somebody sorted for the new year, or if the right person were to approach us, maybe now. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Not something we're going to jump at, but if the right person crops up, they'd have to be a fit for us. We're quite chilled out, but we like people to know what they're doing, and where we can sort of leave them to get on with it a little bit. And so yeah, that's my little thoughts for a Monday, but I do need to crack on now. So I'll update you. We're still waiting on a couple of cars to arrive, a Civic and a Capture. We've got to get the Sportage on, the C-Max on. I need to try and buy some bits. I was going to stop by the Hereford site this morning and show you, but I just did not have time. But we've got 9 cars out at the moment, so it's looking pretty naked. So I do need to try and buy some bits, but we won't buy rubbish, and I won't panic buy. So I'll have a look on Bristol this morning if I get time, but I'm not going to just go absolutely hell for leather for stuff we don't need or want. Especially as I think it will go quiet now for the next couple of 3 weeks. So I should be able to pick a few off here and there. So there we go. Little Monday morning update for you. It might be tomorrow now till I come back to you, but I'll keep you abreast of anything that's tremendously exciting. See you later. So the Polo we got a test drive on this afternoon. So the boys are giving it a good old spruce up, but we noticed that the driver's seat, the handle, had come off the bottom of the seat, and it wasn't just the handle; it's the actual bar that attaches to the runners. So as you can see, Michael is doing some fabrication because you You can buy the little handle separately. It's about, I think it was about 12 quid, 9 quid, something like that from TPS. However, the bar that it attaches to is not available, and it comes as part of the the actual seat base itself with all the runners, and it's £735, which is not happening. So we've had some seats out of my old TT, which funnily enough have got exactly the same runners pretty well, so Volkswagen haven't really changed things over the years. So we've taken it off the TT, and Mike's now fabricating it onto the Polo. So I mean, it's quite an interesting one. Something so little, again, like we said last week, is causing a bloody headache because you couldn't move the seat backwards or forwards. So if the gentleman turns up this afternoon to have a look at it and he's 4'7", he's not going to be able to reach the pedals, so we had to do something about it a bit sharpish. So luckily we had some seats here, so Mike's swapping that over, and it should work perfectly, which is good. But just one of those 735 quid for a bloody bit of metal that sits on the bottom of a seat. Anyway, so that's that. Dad's on the phone to some people about a Honda Jazz, but I'm not sure we're going to be near enough on part exchange values. Other than that, pretty gentle on the sales front as we approach lunchtime on Monday. But anyway, I just thought I'd give you an update about that Polo, because it's something a little bit interesting. I'll catch you later. Right, it is Friday evening. I'm really sorry for not doing much filming this week. This is going to be a short episode after last week's mammoth 1 hour. This is just a small one, I'm afraid. Yeah, been an interesting week. We had to have a day or so off, or a little bit more than a day. Had to rush off on Tuesday because my dog has not been very well, and as all you dog owners will know, that's not good at all. So she was in the vets for a couple of days, and they had to cut her open and see what was going on and yada yada. So so I had to look after my son while my wife looked after the dog and whatever else. So I've just sort of not really done a lot of, missed the middle of the week, and then not really done a lot, just been busy both sides of that. So I'll run you through what's been going on that I can remember, and yeah, hopefully we'll sort of get back to a little bit more normality next week, and I can start to do a bit more filming and so on. So yeah, apologies for the short one, but pets are funny things, aren't they? So this Qashqai is now valeted. Lee, our dent man, came in yesterday and did loads and loads of dents for us. This had one in the bonnet, which has now disappeared. That's a really nice car. Pan roof, all that sort of job. So that is ready for pictures on Monday morning. I think the seats just needed doing, hence the windows are down, so they've left it in over the weekend to let those dry off. But that's a nice car, nice diamond cut wheels, nice colour combo, good value for money. Polo's having its prep. This is the car. Now, we did sell this on Tuesday, and I was just about to film it and then had to shoot off. So this sold on Tuesday before we had a chance to do our walk around videos and our TikToks and all that sort of fun stuff. This sold pretty much straight away. Really nice colour, nice car. Does need a little bit of prep in terms of mechanicals, which is a bit frustrating on a 20 plate car with really good service history, but there we go. It's having 4 tyres, as you can see. It's having front pads and discs. It had no locking wheel nut key when it arrived, so obviously putting some standard bolts on there now, because who steals alloy wheels these days? So yeah, that's having a bit of prep. I think it was a rear spring that was broken on the back as well, but that's all been sorted. So Gary's midway through that one. Out the back, we are starting to clear a bit of space. We managed to get some cars out. Mazda 2 is ready to be valeted Monday morning. That drives really nicely, I'm told, which is good. Tyre's been using the Evoque a little bit, just because we want to make sure that's bang on, just because they frighten me a little bit. I bought it under a little bit of a... I regretted it the second I bought it, but it does tick a lot of boxes, so let's just see how it goes. This has also arrived, Renault Captur. This is nice. 19 plate, done 52,000 miles, really nice colour combo, good spec, sat-nav model. We always like the Captures, they always go well. It's the 0.9 turbo. That's going to be really sensible value for a 19 plate, 8.5 grand. I don't think that one will be here long at all. Honda Civic, this has also arrived. This is lovely. 1.8 petrol, SE Plus. So it's got a few bits and bobs, front and rear parking sensors and a camera. It's got the nice diamond cut alloy wheels. I can't remember if it's one owner from new. It may well be. It's only done 37,000, that one. Really good service history. There's a little scuff on the front just here for Dave to do. He is coming on Wednesday, so he tells me. So that'll be done. 108. This was from Mr. Chops. This had a really sharp little pin dent in the bonnet, which Lee's managed to get as well. And it looks really good, so that'll be ready next week. For it definitely needs some tyres, but other than that, a good valet, and we should be ready to rock and roll with that one. We've sold a couple of bits today. Up GTI, this is sold. My board's fallen out. I'll have to stick that back in before I go home. OCD. This was sold on finance this afternoon. We had a reservation on it earlier in the week, and they've come over from South Wales, I believe, this afternoon. Dealt with Tony and loved it. Absolutely loved it. So and so they should. It's a very, very nice car. Lovely colour, and not in stock long at all, that one. So that's good news. Qashqai has now had its prep finally. This had front brake pads and discs, rear brake pads and discs, an LCD screen for the radio, service, an aircon compressor. So we've made about £3.50 on that car, I think. Yeah, we were working on a very, very tight margin with that. Sold very quickly as we expected it to, but the prep has eaten almost all of our profit on that. Which, I mean, maybe it's my own fault for buying a 13-year-old car. But one of those things. Tiguan, now this has also had its prep as well, so the radio's now working. We had that sent off. The screen was playing up, the back button on the screen was playing up, so that's been sorted. This has had 4 tyres. It's had front brake pads and discs. It's had a DSG fluid service and MOT. So that's now ready. That just needs a valet, and then that'll go off. Our service manager's son's having that one, so that'll go off early next week when we've got it valeted. Kia Sportage also sold yesterday. Tony sold this one to a repeat customer who has currently got a Kia Picanto, which she had from us about 18 months ago, 2 years ago, and she's just finding it a little bit too small. So she asked if we could find her a Kia Sportage, and then obviously we bought this one locally from this was a car that we've previously retailed ourselves already, and has now come as part of a deceased estate. So we gave her a call, and she came in, and she loves it, so she's having that one, and we're having the Picanto back in part exchange. Nice little Picanto, I think it's a 3, Picanto 2 or 3, I forget the specs on those. But a really nice little car. I think it's only done 10 or 12,000 miles, and it was a nice car the first time, and it's still nice now, so that'll be coming back in part exchange, and the customer will be having that one. I've just had some people looking at this Avensis who were, interestingly, very unhappy with the service they received at a Honda main dealership. They were looking for a Honda Civic Tourer, and they went to have a look at one, and not best pleased with the service they received at said Honda dealership. So they popped over here to have a look at the Honda Civic that we've just had come in, but obviously a hatchback. But this really caught their eye, so they had a good look round, and they're going to have a bit more of a look into it over the weekend. We still haven't done anything with the C-Max because I've been trying to prep cars that are just a bit less. That's quite dirty, so that needs a good bit of action to get that right. This arrived this afternoon. This is Absolutely lovely. A bit prestige for us. I mean, it's a bit fancy, isn't it? Q5, S-Line, Quattro, automatic, 2-litre diesel. It's the 177 brake horsepower model, and it has only done 43,000 miles. Massive service history. The file is enormous. The vast majority are Audi, almost all of it are Audi. Cam belt and water pump have been done. Lovely mileage, lovely spec. It's got tons of added options. It's got front and rear parking sensors. It's got an opening tilt and slide glass panoramic roof, half leather, all the other lovely S-Line bits. I drove this car this afternoon. Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? I drove this car this afternoon, and it's probably the nicest car I've driven this year, I would say. It drives... I hate it when people say it drives like new. It drives like new. Really, really nice. Snazzy colour, or let's say a bit more of a Marmite colour. We've had one recently in the same colour, haven't we? A Q3 that we sold to Tristan. But yeah, lovely looking thing. Lovely, lovely looking thing. And had been retail prepared. We bought it from a prestige garage actually, and it was a little bit old from them. They did try it for a little bit, and have moved it on. I've also got a little Hyundai i10 N-Line arriving from them as well. I was hoping it was going to be here by close of play, but it might be arriving tonight, I guess. But yeah, really impressed with that. Not cheap, but it's got tons and tons of spec on it, and it's got to be the lowest mileage around, hasn't it? I also had someone look at the Toyota Aygo, again a repeat customer who's had a 108 off us in the past, which his daughter is now having, so he's looking for something very similar. So he's had a look at that one. Not sure about the colour, but I did tell him I've got an orange one coming in, which I do. I bought an orange one on a 15 plate with 44,000 miles, which will be a fraction cheaper than that one. That's arriving next week. We haven't done the Fabia yet because Dave's going to do the wheels when he comes on Wednesday. Hyundai i10 is now advertised. This is a little automatic one with 7,000 miles. I'm getting in a bit of abuse on TikTok about this one. I don't know why. It's not really a TikTok car, I suppose. Q3, this is all valeted, pictured, videoed. That's absolutely lovely as well. I do like the Q3s and the Q5s. My wife's got a Q5 similar to this one, but a manual and an SE. And I'm very jealous now because that's nice. But that's a nice car too. Petrol, Q3, electric tailgate, manual, one owner from new. Is that it out here? Yes. Could be it out here. But yeah, in terms of cars we bought, I've been sort of picking away at it. Auctions are horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. I bought one from auction this week and I bid on about 30 cars. So the auction car I bought this week is a Renault Megane on a 16 plate, cheap road tax, so 1.5 diesel, 5-door hatch in white, done 52,000, 53,000. One owner from new, 9 services. It's a nice spec, half leather, sat nav, and they're good cars to be honest. So that'll be arriving next week. That was Mannheim, Northampton, yeah. That's going to be a nice price rangey, sort of £6,000. Let's have a little sit on the old chaise long. So that's that's going to be arriving next week. I've also bought, like I say, an orange Toyota Aygo on a 15 plate. I've bought a Kia Sportage this afternoon that will replace the black one quite nicely. A white one, 2018 with 46,000 miles on it, petrol. It's had a few owners, but it's going to be priced accordingly, and it's from one of my regular suppliers. He says it's nice, so I shall take his word for that. And I've also bought a couple of very, very low mileage bits as well, again from one of my regular suppliers. I bought a Mini Cooper diesel, which is on a 61 plate, so it's old, but it's done 10,000 miles. Supplying dealer and one owner from new, tons and tons of service history, really nice level of spec, a bit of a unicorn car, that 10,000 miles, 14 years, coming up 14 years old. So MOT history is perfect, stacks up brilliantly right the way through its life. So I'm excited to see that one. It's black with silver wheels, very, very special little car, hopefully. And from the same home, I bought a Hyundai iX35. So the same as the Kia Sportages, really, the older ones. A 2014 silver with the dark grey alloy wheels. Looks quite a smart thing. 1.7 diesel, manual. That's a 14 plate and it's done 23,000 miles. Again, supplying dealer and one owner from new, with main dealer service history. What else have I bought? Oh, I bought a Dacia Sandero Stepway as well on a 72 plate, so that's the newer shape. Very similar to the red Sandero that we've got on the pitch, but obviously the Stepway model, so slightly higher. That's done 20-odd thousand miles on a 72 plate. That's going to look really good value, about 11 grandish. So yeah, I've been sort of picking away at them. Auctions have been horrendous. I've wasted a lot of time on auctions this week, but I've managed to buy cars from sources that I quite often buy from, which is nice, and hopefully they turn up and they're okay. So yeah, it's been a busy week, and I've not been here for some of it, and it's been a bit stressful at home and whatever else. It's like having another kid having a dog, isn't it? Apart from they're a lot more expensive when they go wrong, it seems. Beans on toast, because she's costing a fortune, but she's worth every penny. She is. I wonder if my wife would spend 4 figures plus if I wasn't very well. I don't know. Hopefully, I've never got to find that out. But but yeah, when it's the dog, it's no questions asked. You carry on, get her right. So hopefully she'll be okay, and we can get back to normal. But it's been a bit stressful. 1st of August, as I'm sat here on this Friday evening, and a little report for July. We sold 41. Well, we got 41 cars out the door in July in total. 33 of them retail, 8 trade, all off to new homes. So it's been a very, very busy month. Obviously, we're only on site 5 days a week, so sort of 2 cars going out a day, really, on a 5-day week, or not far off. So yeah, very busy. This week's been a little bit quieter. How many have we done this week? 4, is it? 3, 4? Polo, Up GTI, Sportage, 3. And a trade one, Fiat 500X. But we have got a few irons in the fire. There's quite a few inquiries that we've had. This afternoon's been busy. We've had quite a few people on the pitch. So we've got a few test drives booked in for next week, and yeah, quite a few inquiries today where I've given people my card and that sort of thing. So hopefully next week will be quite busy. But yeah, really busy July. Probably the best month we've ever had, I would think. But the margins were quite, bizarrely, the margin's quite small because we've spent a lot of money on prep last month. Just so many pads and discs and tyres, it's unbelievable. I've said this before, if I had shares in a brakes company, a brake engineering company, I'd be doing very well. But there we go. So thanks for watching. Sorry this week has been pretty short and sharp. Just one of those weeks where a bit out of my control, and I just didn't have the time or the inclination to keep filming. I was just too busy doing stuff. But thanks for watching. Do give us a thumbs up, subscribe, all that nice stuff. Jump in the comments if you want to have a chat. And thank you to all of you who have bought cars from us, sold us cars recently as well. It's been really good, really good. So enjoy your weekend and take care, and we'll see you soon.